grapes that we have planted here right now, we have about 7 acres planted. That was just our first year. We have Syrah, Merlot, and Cab Franc for our reds. And then for our whites, we have Albarino, Sauvignon Blanc, and Chardonnay.
So welcome back to another out-of-state episode of Virginia Wine TV. And what I thought it would be a good idea is to visit some of the border states of Virginia, just to see what kind of similarities or differences they have with the Virginia wine industry. So today we're at Old Westminster Winery, just outside of Westminster, Maryland, and I have Lisa Baker with me, who's the winemaker here.
Yes.
So thank you, Lisa. So just first of all, just tell us a little background about the winery and why you decided to start a winery.
Sure. Basically, this came to be through the family, really. It was initiated through my mom, who had the idea. We have all this land here in Maryland. We don't know what to do with it. We started looking into the financial push behind it and kind of the logistics of what it would take to be a premium Maryland winery. And we talked to my brother and my sister, and everyone was on board. My sister's a marketing major, and I'm chemistry, and my brother's business, and we had no intentions of joining the wine industry. And then we started doing research, and we all fell in love with the idea. And after that, we were all on board.
Well, nice. Well, it's also, I mentioned earlier, you guys all must get along.
We are
be
best
siblings
friends.
And to be business partners.
Yes, definitely. We're absolutely each other's support in everything we do.
Nice. So to start, it's difficult to start a new winery. In Virginia, it seems like there's a new one opening up every other week.
Right.
And the state government is very supportive. Counties are supportive. What about the environment here in Maryland, both the state level and the county level?
Right, it's very similar to Virginia. They do a lot of grant opportunities for new up-and-coming wineries as far as planting and as far as building. They really like the idea. Obviously, there are definitely some pushbacks as far as the tax part of it and the small details, but as far as the support in the agricultural part of it, they love it.
Yeah, well, absolutely, and that's the same reason Virginia. I mean, Virginia, if everyone saw a couple weeks ago, we had Governor McDonald, and he said, agriculture is the biggest industry in the state.
Right.
And that's still probably true with Maryland, or very close.
Right.
And so we're here. Westminster is west of Baltimore, sort of northeast, I guess, of Frederick. Your business model, you were telling me, is that mostly all your sales will be out of the tasting room. So in Virginia, there's a big wine tourism industry. People go out of the cities, they go visit.
Right.
Is that your business model here?
Yeah, we would like to keep definitely small premium. We want to bring in a lot of attraction here. We like the personal relationship that we keep with that we want to keep with the people who buy our wine. We don't want them to just come in and buy our wine and leave and not know who they are. So we want them to feel like they're really part of something and that we're really doing something extraordinary here, which we feel like we are. So that's really our main goal, is that we want people to come out here and really see what we're all about, and see that we're into making really great premium Maryland wine.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you're going to be a small boutique.
Yeah.
And so you're going to eschew the festival model of the sweet wines, and you actually have some interesting wines that you've planted, or grapes that you've planted. You want to mention?
Right. Yeah. So the grapes that we have planted here right now, we have about 7 acres planted. That was just our first year. We have Syrah, Merlot, and Cab Franc for our reds. And then for our whites, we have Albarino, Sauvignon Blanc, and a Chardonnay.
Yeah, so I love the whites that you have, this Sauvignon Blanc that you don't see very much at all. And Albarino, obviously, you have black ink on. That's even in Virginia, we have Chrysalis, I think, might be the only winery making Albarino.
Right.
So for now, so you just planted, so you're still 2 years?
Right. We're gonna wait until the 3rd year. And so for this past harvest, which was our first year,
so that was the first, okay.
we didn't take any fruit, and then again this coming harvest we're not taking any fruit, and then the third fall we'll finally use some of our own grapes.
So obviously you have to just make wine, you're sourcing grapes, and
Correct.
One of the wineries is actually Chatham Winery, that's in the eastern shore of Virginia.
It is.
So how did that come about, that relationship?
That relationship was actually initiated through a consultant. My brother kind of picked it up after they were introduced to each other and started talking, went down, saw the vineyard, and we kind of just started talking with them. We really loved the fruit that they had to offer. We loved the decisions that were being made as far as the fruit quality went before we actually harvested. We were talking with John Wayner pretty much every day. he was telling us what he was going to do with his fruit and what he was suggesting for us, and we really loved it. They gave great suggestions.
And so that's actually what we're drinking now is grapes or wine from Chatham, and this is the Merlot. And
Yes.
so this has actually only been 2 months in oak?
2 months in oak barrel.
And so what is the final plan for this?
The final plan is that this is going to be blended through some of our other varieties that we have, and then we're also going to make a blend that is the majority of Chatham's Merlot.
Now we have a bottle here of rosé. Was this rosé from the bleed from these grapes?
No, it was not. This is 100%.
I should have read the label. It says Maryland.
This is a 100% Maryland rosé, which we really love. We do have another blend from the 2011 vintage rosé, which is a blend, has some Chatham bleed in it from this Merlot that we're drinking. But this one actually that we're sitting behind is not.
Right, and this is neat. This is your very first bottling for the winery.
This is my pride and joy.
And so what I should mention is that they're not open now. It'll be actually another year till they're officially open to the public.
Correct.
But you also have a Century Club that people can actually come and start tasting and buying into future. So you want to explain that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we had this idea after talking to some people from the Maryland wine industry that really no one in the actual state is pushing for, and that's a Century Club. So it's an exclusive league of 100 members that you sign up for this club, and you have the opportunity to come out for tours and tastings like we did today, directly from barrel. And then you also have the opportunity to purchase wine futures, which is obviously wine still in barrels. After you've tasted it, you can see what you like and go ahead and purchase those. And we like it the most because it's, again, the personal relationship, and it provides like an exclusive feel for our customers.
Yeah, and this is actually very nice right now. I mean, it's this for 2 months in the barrel. I mean, this is going to be nice, and for people in the Century Club, you can actually come out and see the progression as the wine matures, because it won't be bottled again for another year.
Right. So the idea behind those tours and tasting is that you can come out. The Century Club members come out as many times as they would like in the next year until this is bottled, and kind of track the progression of all of the wines that we have available right now. And it's been really cool to see the people who have come out more than once already, and it's only been in barrel for 2 months, and already noticed the changes that are going on with the wine. And it really does. It just provides such an experience.
And so what I do have to, you have to get used to this question, because you're going to get it a lot. So you want to tell everyone how old you are?
I'm 23.
Yeah, so you're the youngest winemaker probably in Maryland, probably if you're in Virginia. So but you're a chemistry major, and so a lot of winemaking is chemistry.
Right.
But we talked about earlier, I mean, you still need to know the processes of how a wine develops in a barrel, the whole processes of, just developing a palate.
Right.
So how have you adjusted or starting to train yourself on that?
Right. Even though I am 23, I really have. I've trained a lot just by drinking wine. Really, it's the experience that I've had. Even with tasting from the barrel, I can see, like I said earlier, just like the different changes at different stages during a ferment. A wine tastes so much different than the grape that it started with, and then when it's in barrel, it tastes so much different. And then finally, once it's in bottle, I've even tasted the rosé just be such a different wine than I thought it was going to be from the beginning. And I'm super proud of that, and I love the fact that I've been able to follow that and like really be privileged to drink wine. And through that experience with those tastings and that experience, like working with my brother a lot and my family and our consultant, just really every day trying 1, 2, 3 different wines, comparing them, talking about the structure, talking about what we're smelling and what we would change, and where the mouthfeel is and where the holes are, and we try and focus now more where the structure of the wine, not so much, oh, this is black cherry, not so much like the specific flavors, because we can't change that.
Exactly.
So,
or imperfections you can find
exactly.
in the wine,
right.
Whether there's any reduction that made it through. And so it's a neat thing also with this being a family winery is that not only can you see a progression of wine in the barrel, but if people join the Century Club or start coming out here, they'll be able to see your going forward as a winemaker. You know, you can see
Right.
you know, the changes that you've made year to year as you develop.
It's true. I definitely, I was telling you earlier, I used to introduce myself as a first-year winemaker and just say, you know, it's kind of like a defense mechanism for I don't really know what I'm talking about. And even now I find myself being much more confident in the things that I know as a winemaker, and really not being scared to admit if I don't know something, and really wanting to learn about that. And it's funny because I am only 23, and we were talking about being a woman in the Maryland wine industry earlier. I kind of shied away from it at first, and now it's been, people are just keep saying that I keep like stepping up to the plate almost. So it's funny to see that change.
Well, you have your first bottle out, so I mean you're a professional winemaker now.
I know.
So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And so we're, you know, this for those in Northern Virginia, we're not too far away, and there's a lot of surrounding wineries here. It's a nice place to come and spend the afternoon, just like if you were going to head out to Loudon or out 66 or any other Virginia wine trail. So thank you again, Lisa, and we'll see you next time.